And then when it's wet, it looks crazy too. But the main, look. Can you see it, sis? I know you see it. I know you see it. Oh, Lord have mercy, honey. Anyway, look right there. What's up, what's poppin'? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Mercedes, and in today's video I actually have a highly requested topic. Okay, so a lot of people want to know what length closure or frontal goes with what length bundles. So shout out to my sis who has been so patient with me, girl. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I am definitely filming this video for you today, even though I'm in a rush because I gotta go get my nails done. I'm going to make sure you understand exactly what I've been trying to tell you on live, but I can just break it down a little bit better in this video. Okay, so just keep watching. So long story short, okay, I'm not gonna say that because I don't know how long this gonna be, but anyways, okay, you know that you have a closure and a frontal. Now, some people don't understand what closures or frontals are, so I will give you a breakdown. A closure is something that basically goes from here to here, back like that in a little box. Now, the traditional size closure is a 4x4. Recently, the vendors have released 5x5s, 6x6, and 7x7s. In my opinion, as far as what I sell, 7x7s, they're not, oh, and there are also 2x6. I forgot. There are 2x6 closures, and that is basically just enough to give you that middle part. You know, it's a long, sleek, they call it the Kim K closure. That's what a lot of companies are calling it, but you know, that's whatever floats your boat. As far as your customer goes, from what I'm experiencing, 4x4s, 5x5s, and a little bit of 6x6 every now and then is what sells. But a lot of people are really going for the 5x5s. So I would definitely suggest you find you a good 5x5 closure vendor. But 4x4s are still in for people that don't like baby hair, because you have to think about it. The bigger the closure, the more space it gives you for baby hair. Everybody doesn't like baby hair. So I have on a 5x5 closure, but truthfully, okay, so my closure goes from here to here, right? Truthfully, with my middle part, I really only needed a 4x4 closure and it would still look the same. It would just be less lace, which is actually less work. So a lot of people like less maintenance. So those are your closures. Now, when it comes to frontals, frontals are from ear to ear. So you have lace all throughout your forehead, like your whole forehead is covered. So there are pros and cons to both. I've talked about it, I think, in another video, I'm not sure, but the main pro of a frontal, in my opinion, is when the wind blows, all your hair is still, you know, all of the wig is gonna blow back, all of the frontal is gonna blow back, and it's just gonna still create that illusion. Versus if a closure, you're outside and the wind blow in the closure, like depending on where you are, like my good sis out there in Chicago, I heard it's pretty windy out there. So imagine if it's just whoosh, all your hair is gonna fly to the back. Meanwhile, your closure is here, but then right here is just cap. So see how this just look wiggy? You know, it just looks wiggy. Let me get right. Hold on, sis, one sec. Girl, okay. Now the main pro of the closures are less maintenance, less work, easier to maintain. So women that don't like lace, women that don't like a lot of work, closures are what you want to sell them on. A lot of people do not understand the work and the effort and the time and the patience that it takes to deal with a frontal. So if someone tells you, oh, I'm new to the wig game, immediately, like your spidey senses should start tingling, and you should direct them right on to a closure wig, because if you're new, frontal is not the best thing for you in the beginning, okay? So that's the biggest pro to frontal and closure. Now, as far as lengths go, when it comes to closures and frontals, for the most part, most vendors offer 10 to 20 inches. You do have those vendors that offer 22 and 24 inch closures and frontals. However, in my experience, your experience may be different, but in my experience, anytime I tried those vendors with longer length closures and frontals, their hair wasn't as good as the people that just stuck to the traditional. So I noticed more shedding when I got longer closures or longer frontals. So just keep that in mind. But of course, in order for you to truly know about the vendor, you would just have to test it out. But most vendors offer 10 to 20 inches. in closures and frontals. Most people on their website sell 12 to 20 because most people don't buy 10 inches. Bundles, as you know, can go from 8 to 100 inches at this point. Most companies 8 to 30 inches. Most people are purchasing 12 to 30. So 12 to 30 inches are your bundle lengths, and 12 to 20 inches is your closures and frontal lengths, okay? The shortest length bundle that you have, you want to get the same length closure. So if you have a 12, 14, 16, you would want a 12-inch closure or frontal. So because 12 is the shortest length that you got, so it would just give you a flowing effect. Now, some people do go 2 inches shorter. So if you have 12, 14, 16, instead of getting a 12, they would go 10-inch closure or frontal. So they go 2 inches shorter. Some people do that for the layering effect. Some people do it for it's a little cheaper on your website, whatever the case may be. But most people get the same length as their first bundle. So if you have a 12, 14, 16, you would get a 12-inch closure or frontal. If you have 14, 16, 18-inch bundles, you would get a 14-inch closure or frontal. If you have 16, 18, 20-inch bundles, you would get a 16-inch closure or frontal. If you have an 18, 20, 22-inch bundle deal, then you would get an 18-inch closure or frontal. And if you have a 20, 22, 24, you would do a 20-inch closure. Now, I know you're probably thinking, okay, well, what about 24, 26, 28, and 30? Most people just go ahead and get the 20 inches. Like my hair, okay. So you see my hair is 28 inches, right? But my closure is only a 20-inch. Well, if you blend your hair correctly or your customer blends the hair correctly, or they go to a stylist, whatever, you won't be able to tell a major difference. It all just flows together and it just looks really nice. But anytime you go 22, 24, 26, 28, and 30, you just get the 20-inch closure or the 20-inch frontal. Again, you won't be able to see a big line of demarcation or anything like that. It won't look bad. It looks good actually, because you know, really nobody hair is the same length at the top than it is the bottom anyway. So it actually looks a little bit more natural. Now, as far as 26, 28, 30 and things like that, what I noticed in business is a lot of girls, including myself actually, I like buying my hair in the same length. It makes your hair look fuller when you do it, in my opinion. So what I like to do is I like to get 3 of the same length bundles and a closure or a frontal. So if I do 26 inches, I would get 3 bundles of 26 inches and a 20-inch closure. And what I used to do was I used to get 1 bundle of 1 length, and then I would double up on my longest length. So like if I wanted 26 inches again, I would do a 24-inch bundle and 2 26-inch bundles and a 20-inch closure or frontal. So yeah, I think that is about it. Again, when it comes to closures and frontals, you just do the same length, or you can go 2 inches shorter. So if your customer goes to you and say, oh, I want a layered effect. Well, if they want a layered effect, I would probably suggest to them a 14, 16, and 18-inch bundle deal and a 12-inch closure. Because when you go to cut it, or even if they don't know how to cut, if you go to curl it, it's already 2 inches shorter each one. So it just will look, it will give a layered effect. Even though you didn't technically go in and layer it, it's still missing 2 inches. Now, I'm finna go grab a wig and I'm finna show it to y'all real quick so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So hold on 1 second. All right, so this particular wig is 26 inches. As you can see, you see it, how it's 26 inches? Now, this is what you don't wanna do. Don't be cheap, okay? Don't be cheap. This is actually not even it. So it's this right here. Don't be cheap, sis. Don't try to get a 14-inch closure just because it's a little cheaper or something like that, because look at this. Your bundles are all the way down here. You see how choppy that looks? That is so ugly. Don't do that, because it just looks choppy and it looks like you tried to skimp out. You can't skimp on your business, okay? Don't do it. Like, this looks really bad. Like, even when you put it on, it looks bad, okay? So when you see this, that's a huge line of demarcation. You don't want that. If this had been, this is 26-inch bundles and a 14-inch closure. And you see how crazy it looks? So that's exactly why I'm suggesting to you not to do that. Because if it was 18 inches, it would be more so about down here, and it would just flow effortlessly, okay? It would just really flow, and it would look nice. But this looks like somebody ran out of money and was trying to save a little $10, $20, $30 with a vendor, or however much, you know, the cost difference was. It looked like you were trying to penny pinch, sis. And it's nothing wrong with penny pinching, girl. Do not come for me. Do not get me wrong. We all have had to penny pinch before, but certain things don't penny pinch, because guess when it comes to testing, even if you can just afford, even if you can only afford just one wig, please make sure you don't try to save that little bit of money by getting a shorter length closure or frontal. Okay, just get the one that you need, because it really does make a difference. And again, I'm gonna show y'all one more time, like. And then when it's wet, it looks crazy too. But the main, look. Can you see it, sis? I know you see it. I know you see it. Oh, Lord have mercy, honey. Anyway, look right there. Look at that. Pathetic. Don't do it, sis. Don't do it. So yeah, that pretty much sums up this video, y'all. Sis, I truly appreciate you being so patient, and thank you for asking the question, because again, I know this will help other people. I hope this did help some of my other sis out there, and I hope you all are off to a great 2020. I hope you all are getting the bag, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you subscribe to my channel, because why not? But yeah, sis, I'm finna run, because look at my little nubs. Gotta go get these done. So anyways, y'all have a wonderful day. Again, sis, thanks for your patience, and I will talk to y'all in my next video. Oh, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at okay, so that's her. And yeah, sis, I'll talk to y'all in my next video.